Are we going to see Canelo Crawford next?
We'll see. It's a possibility there, always. No, we'll see what happens.
Have you spoke with Turkey about that show,
Yeah,
about Canelo?
we know each other.
Happy birthday.
Canelo.
Man, yeah, we still live.
There we go.
We got some.
Hold up, motherfucker.
There was an event in London that wasn't mentioned in the Ring Magazine Awards. It was the face-to-face meeting between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Both fighters met with the Saudi boxing promoter on different days to discuss their fight plans in detail. Crawford had been there since Saturday. Once Canelo Alvarez finished his meeting with Turkish promoter Alec, Terence Crawford was about to meet Canelo Alvarez in person.
Likelihood of a fight with you and Terence Crawford, it would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We don't talking about yet about the fight. Me and Turkish.
There is no doubt that plans for the fight are already in motion, and it's going to be a big event. As each day passes, we're getting closer to the fight, and everyone is excited. Signs point to the potential fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez finally happening. The two met with Turkish promoter Alec in London at the same time, which only added more fuel to the rumors.
Each other, and then we wanna see what happens.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp? When are you going to be in a camp?
According to recent reports, Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are set to finally fight in the ring. The Mexican champion and Bud Crawford have been on a path to fight each other for several years. After Crawford's impressive win over Errol Spence Jr. in July 2023, he called for a fight with Canelo Alvarez. Already a two-time undisputed champion, Bud wanted to move up 3 weight classes for more titles. However, the super middleweight champion, Canelo, had other things to focus on and initially turned down the fight. Instead, he had dominant wins over Jaime Munguia and Edgar Berlanga.
Training camp in March.
Okay, so
At the beginning of the middle of the February or March. Yeah.
Terence Crawford moved to light middleweight last August and won a decision over Israel Madrimov, earning titles from the World Boxing Association and World Boxing Organization. After that, there was more talk about a possible fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. It seems that the fight may finally happen. While neither Canelo Alvarez nor Terence Crawford has commented on the reports, there are clear signs. Earlier this week, both fighters were seen meeting with Saudi boxing promoter Alec.
We don't talk that much for make a deal and anything, but we now know each other, and we'll see what happens.
The promoter has helped organize major fights like Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk and Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol in recent months. Alec has long supported the idea of Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford and has said he's willing to pay for the fight. This, along with recent statements from Crawford, suggests that the fight is likely in the works. In a conversation earlier today, Crawford promised to shock the world. However, beating Canelo Alvarez will be a tough challenge for the 37-year-old Crawford.
New reports coming in that the chances of a fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford have, quote, greatly increased, and that Canelo Alvarez is now highly considering Terence Crawford.
Although Terence Crawford is an all-time great, he will have to move up 2 weight classes to fight the Mexican star Canelo Alvarez. However, if anyone can defy the odds, it's probably Crawford. Renowned boxing journalist Julius Julianus recently gave a positive update, saying they are considering a September date for the fight. While nothing has been officially confirmed, fans and experts have already started speculating and picking their winners. Terence Crawford has heard enough and is now involved in the discussions. The former 3-division champion and current WBA 154LB title holder is now close to securing a dream fight with Saul Canelo Alvarez. Multiple sources have confirmed that serious efforts are being made to make this fight happen later this year. ESPN Deportes' Julianus suggested that a deal is already in place, while other sources think it could happen as soon as May, though this seems ambitious. Alvarez was in London for the inaugural Ring Magazine Awards and made sure to meet with Turkish promoter Alec, who is leading the efforts behind Riyadh Season and the new owner of Ring Magazine. Alec and his group presented the ceremony while also meeting with boxing figures including Alvarez to discuss major events for 2025. As soon as Crawford heard his name mentioned, he changed his weekend plans. "I'm like a genie when you rub his lamp," Crawford said, posting a picture outside Heathrow Airport on Sunday. "Once you call upon me, I appear to grant you one wish because I'm a free genie, not one in cuffs." Alec met with Crawford on Sunday, a day after having productive talks with Alvarez about the upcoming year.
Oh, well, it ain't really no message, you know. It's all respect over here, you know, and if, you know, he do decide.
Alvarez is still planning for a potential ring return in May to defend his ring WBC, WBA, and WBO super middleweight titles. Crawford, who moved up to junior middleweight in 2024, would advance another 2 weight classes for what he considers a legacy fight. Crawford hasn't fought since his unanimous decision win over Israel Madrimov in August 2023, where he claimed the WBA and WBO junior middleweight titles. That fight headlined the Riyadh season launch event at a stadium in Los Angeles. Alik has always been keen to arrange an Alvarez versus Crawford fight, but plans were paused briefly when Alvarez didn't show interest in the fight.
Come my way and me and him get in the ring, then it'll be an electrifying fight, you know.
Instead, Alvarez moved forward with a title defense against Edgar Berlanga, whom he outpointed over 12 rounds last September in Las Vegas. Neither Alvarez nor Crawford has fought since then. It's still uncertain, and it seems unlikely that Crawford will fight before their potential showdown. All signs still point to Alvarez fighting in May, as he's already looking for a notable opponent for a pay-per-view event in the US. However, these plans could change quickly. Alvarez's presence in London this weekend proves that 2025 will be an active year for him, with several potential opponents.
How important is it that you've spoke with Turki Al-Sheikh?
Say again, please.
How important for you is it that you've spoke to Turki Al-Sheikh, and what did you speak about?
The strongest contender for now is Cuban fighter William Scully, whom Canelo may face in May. But Canelo seems open to negotiating with proposals from Alec, the president of the General Entertainment Authority of Saudi Arabia. Alvarez went to London to receive the Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year award, where he met with Alec. In an interview, he acknowledged that a fight with Terence Crawford is possible. There's always a possibility. We'll see. But we're here to do the best business, Canelo told the Ring when asked about the potential fight with Crawford. The WBC mandatory challenger for Alvarez is David Benavidez, but with Canelo's reluctance to take that fight, he may turn to Crawford for a September matchup. I like to work with everybody, you know, I'm a free agent.
I like to work with everybody, you know, I'm a free agent and I like to work with everybody. And, you know, I like to have the doors open.
However, the main obstacle to closing the deal is the weight difference. Crawford fights in the 150 super welterweight division, which is 2 weight classes below Canelo. Money won't be the biggest issue for a potential deal, as negotiations would start at the $150 million Canelo has asked for. Still, there are no other major obstacles, according to British promoter Eddie Hearn, head of Matchroom Boxing. I'll be honest, I'd be very surprised if that fight happens. I think His Excellency has been pushing for it, but it didn't seem like something Canelo really wanted to do, Hearn told Fight Hype, recalling a conversation he had with Canelo about why he might be reluctant to accept a fight with Crawford.
All the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won.
I think Canelo feels that if he beats Crawford, people will just say he beat a 150 Falabi fighter, said Hearn. Meanwhile, Dallas Cowboys legend Des Bryant has also gotten involved, revealing his plans to bet a huge amount on the fight and picking his winner. Bryant, known as the Black Mamba, took to his social media to share his choice for the potential fight, saying, "I'm putting $100,000 on Crawford," showing strong support for the 37-year-old. Bryant and Crawford have a personal relationship, and the NFL legend admires Crawford a lot. He has publicly supported the Omaha native several times, and the two have shared some fun moments together.
Went up and lost. You know, so let's not do that, Canelo.
They have competed in friendly challenges like their one-on-one basketball game, where Crawford lost to Bryant. So it was no surprise that Bryant picked Crawford to win against Canelo Alvarez. However, this choice has placed him in a unique position, as Canelo is becoming the favorite among experts. Hearn isn't the only one who thinks the weight difference will be too much for Crawford to overcome. Demetrius Andrade also expressed similar concerns to Fight Hub TV.
I don't think it's a fight Canelo really wants, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight.
Andrade said that even though Canelo is a close friend of his when it comes to weight, Canelo is a bigger favorite than Crawford. While Crawford's abilities and skills are unquestionable, moving up 2 weight classes to fight one of boxing's best fighters of this era seems like a huge challenge. All signs point to the potential fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez finally happening. The two fighters met with Saudi boxing promoter Alec in London, which only added to the rumors. Renowned boxing journalist Julius Julianus later shared another positive update, saying that they are considering a September date for the fight.
Got in that fight, which is not ideal for Canelo. But what's his options? I mean, like, you know, if Bivol wins, he could fight him for undisputed. That's a very tough fight.
While nothing is confirmed yet, fans and experts are already speculating and choosing their winners. Meanwhile, Dallas Cowboys legend Des Bryant has joined the conversation by revealing his plans to bet a large amount on the fight and pick his winner. Bryant wrote on his social media, "I'm putting $100,000 on Crawford," showing his unwavering support for the 37-year-old. Bryant and Crawford share a personal bond, and the NFL legend has publicly supported Crawford on several occasions.
What's the other options? You know, Benavidez is up at 175. Obviously, His Excellency wants to make that fight, so guess we could see it next.
They have shared fun moments together, including some friendly competition, like their one-on-one basketball game where Crawford lost to Bryant. So it wasn't a surprise when Bryant picked Crawford to win against Canelo Alvarez. However, this puts him in a unique position, as Canelo is now being seen as the heavy favorite by experts.
His Excellency has named you and Terence Crawford as one of the top 5 fights that he wants to see this year. Is that a fight that you're considering now?
We'll see.
According to a report from Combat Tazo, boxing legends Canelo Alvarez of Mexico and Terence Crawford have agreed to fight in September in Las Vegas. This highly anticipated matchup between two of the best fighters of their generation had been rumored to be in the works after they each met separately with Saudi boxing promoter Alec over the weekend at the Ring magazine awards in London. Crawford has already made it clear that he wants a shot at Alvarez and is willing to move up 2 weight classes to 168 pounds for the fight.
Everything is possible. We'll see. We want to talk about it, sit down really well and figure out something.
I know
Canelo, 34, has a professional record of 62-2-2 and has held world championships in 4 weight classes. He is best known for his 2011 trilogy fight against Gennady Golovkin. Alvarez last fought in September, winning by unanimous decision against Edgar Berlanga. Crawford, 37, is also a 4-weight world champion with a perfect record of 41-0. His most recent fight was in August, where he defeated Israel Madrimov by unanimous decision to win the WBA and WBO interim light middleweight titles. As the Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford fight is looking more likely, 2-division world champion Devin Haney has weighed in with his clear prediction. Despite there being a 14 LLB weight difference between the two, Crawford is willing to move up 2 classes to make the fight happen and prove his greatness.
Performance.
Crawford wants to move up 3 divisions to fight Canelo. What's your thoughts on that, and who do you favor in that fight if Bud does move up?
Man, they make
Canelo, a 4-weight world champion like Bud, was initially dismissive of the fight, but has slowly warmed to the idea. At first, he said he wouldn't take the fight, but later his position changed to if the money is right. Now, after meeting with Saudi promoter Alec, who has said this fight is at the top of his list, Canelo seems more interested in making a deal. Many people in the sport feel that the weight difference is too big for Crawford to overcome, even with his elite skills. However, speaking to the media at a recent workout in London, Devin Haney made it clear that he's backing Crawford if the fight happens.
classes for a reason, but, you know, he's daring to be great. Gotta respect it.
I can't go against Crawford. I roll with Crawford. I like him both in and out of the ring. I think he's the best right now, so I'm supporting Crawford, Haney said. Both Canelo and Crawford are now officially looking for their next opponents. If the fight doesn't happen or is delayed, Canelo could defend his unified super middleweight titles against another champion, like William Scully, for a chance to become a 2-time undisputed champion.
Come my way and me and him get in the ring, then it'll be an electrifying fight, you know. It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently. and it'd be a well fought.
Crawford would likely stay at super welterweight and possibly try to unify the division, with Sebastian Fundora being a strong option, or face a top contender like Virgil Ortiz Jr. The potential fight between these two pound-for-pound greats was first discussed last year after Crawford defeated Israel Madrimov to win the WBA Super welterweight title. However, talks stalled due to Canelo's reluctance to negotiate the fight before his September defense against Edgar Berlanga, which Canelo won to retain his WBC, WBA, and WBO super middleweight titles.
Kind of a lose-lose situation for you. Do you think he's too small to compete with you?
No, he's a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. He's a smart.
Now that both men have recovered from their last bouts, there is renewed optimism that the fight could happen later this year. Crawford and Canelo both met with Saudi promoter Alvarez over the weekend, and reports now suggest a deal is in place for the mega fight. Crawford has responded to the news, expressing his confidence in victory. On social media, he shared, "I'm going to shock the world. The best is yet to come. I've had this in my back pocket this whole time." Is he?
And I take everything seriously, but we'll see what happens.
Canelo, I hope you make it happen for us, because we want to see it.
Yeah, thank you.
It would be seen as a huge upset if Crawford manages to defeat Canelo, as he would have to jump up 2 more weight classes from 150 LBs to 168 LBs. Crawford has only fought once at super welterweight after moving up from 147 libras. Before that, he was the undisputed welterweight champion, having defeated his longtime rival Errol Spence Jr. Spence has shared his thoughts on how the Canelo fight might go, saying that being Alvarez means facing a constant stream of challengers, including Crawford, who are all eager to fight him. "It's an honor to have everyone wanting to fight me and dreaming of having a fight against Canelo.
I'm focused 100% on this fight. Look, I don't like the way he talk, and I'm not in this position because of any. I'm in this.
Alvarez has never fully believed that Crawford would bring a great fight due to Crawford's smaller size, and he would likely have to use a more evasive fighting strategy. "He's a good fighter, I know that," Alvarez said about Crawford. "He thinks he can do everything, but I think he knows it's different at 154. He's a good fighter, but that's why there are weight classes. I like Terence Crawford and his style. It's just different, and you can see that in his fight against Madov."
If he wants to work with me, it's in my way, not in their way.
What was
I don't need it.
What didn't you like about how he approached? Like, what was?
It's not a.
"People want to see that fight, but they'll have to pay," Alvarez said. He also mentioned that he is interested in fighting in Japan, where one of his idols, former featherweight champion Oscar Larios of Mexico, fought many times.
The way to approach is not the way to approach to me. Look, I respect everybody and I respect Turkey, but look, if
"I like to take it fight by fight, but I definitely would like to have the experience of fighting in Japan," Alvarez said. I grew up watching Jorge Larios, and he went to Japan a lot of times. I really want to go there and have that experience." As for fighting in Saudi Arabia, it remains to be seen if Alvarez will go there. He has expressed dissatisfaction with the Boxing Federation, including Alvarez, for his approach toward him.
Claro que no. La quiero para mi hijo, por favor.
Sí, no, aquí yo creo que Crawford needs to fight Teofimo first, and then we'll see, right? At the end of the day, like I said before, I'm not asking for that fight. They want to make that fight because
reports suggest Alvarez might be looking to face David Benavidez soon, but the boxing star has asked for a huge $200 million for the fight. Alvarez, however, doesn't seem willing to meet these demands. Alvarez has changed the dynamics of boxing in recent years and is the main reason why the sport is making a comeback in combat sports.
For Crawford to call you out at 68, say that he can beat you at this weight?
No, everybody wants to fight with me, so it's fine.
That being a biggest fight possible in boxing, is that something you'd actually be interested in?
It's crazy when you asking about that, because you say, your match is coming up.
Despite this, Canelo Alvarez is not inclined to follow Alex's path, and Alvarez feels the same way. In his latest move, Alvarez has stepped forward to shut down Alvarez's demands. That's all for now. For the latest updates on news, events, and moments in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel and don't forget to turn on notifications to get alerted when we release new content. Until next time, peace out.